Okay, so and it's my great pleasure to introduce to you Jeremiah. Jeremiah Teo is a world-class charisma coach who specializes in clients' personal confidence empowerment through capitalism on innate strengths and exponential growth. Um, in high communicative performance over the past 10 years. Apart from developing life skills training curriculum for Singapore Ministry of Education and leading training seminars for various primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, Jeremiah Teo also conducts public communications training for sales professionals in wide range industries. Some of his clients include Changi Airport Group, Novartis Pharmaceuticals, AIA Group, Resort World Sentosa, Western Sydney University, Lingnan University, and many more. So without so much further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Jeremiah.
Thank you, Marilyn, for the wonderful introduction, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for investing your 1 hour here for this Charisma Experience webinar. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the webinar because today is going to be full pack content adding value to you. So do make sure to get your notebook ready, your iPad ready for note taking because it's going to be fast paced, 90 plus slides of content that you can use to increase your confidence in your workplace, sales growth, and public speaking. So let's jump into the slides and let's begin. And for you, you might be thinking like, oh, Jeremiah, is my first time meeting you, or you might have heard about me in the previous sessions in the Leadership Summit organized by CTS. But here is my short profile of my experience over the past 11 years. I was born and raised in Singapore. I started out my coaching career 11 years ago, teaching primary school students, secondary school students, and university students in public speaking, personal leadership. Eventually had the opportunity to learn from other mentors and do sales growth training for different industries, finance, insurance, etc. And 4 years ago, 2017 July, I moved to Sydney to grow my career in a different country and to challenge myself to minister to a different audience apart from Singaporeans and Asians. So that's a short history of my 11 years of coaching of charisma. And today, as mentioned, it's going to be full pack. For the first 35 minutes, we're going to look at 2 big areas. Number 1, exploring the myths of charisma. What exactly is charisma? Is it X factor? Is it confidence? Or is it something else? And then for the next 15 minutes, we're going to look at 7 key confidence hacks using body language. If time allows, I'll go through every single one of that. If not, I'll give you quick tips, few of them that you can apply today. Even when we speak to your family members or you're speaking to your clients later on, you can use it immediately. And I will share with you about the next steps that will happen. What exactly is Charisma Accelerator coaching program that can empower you to 10x your sales growth, your public speaking confidence, and engagement in high performance. That will be the 8, 5, 3, 1 segment that I'll share with you in the last 10 minutes of the webinar. Without further ado, let's get started. You might be thinking, why do we need to talk about charisma in today's world? If you're in sales or in leadership position, you will have realized that in order to outshine, to thrive, we need to be confident. And confidence always comes through the X factor, right? The X factor that you have, that I don't. And how do we grow the X factor to shine and to 10x our performance in our workplaces, in competition, and etc. So, and much more in the job losses, unemployment created by COVID-19. All the more, we need to grow ourselves to become more competent and more charismatic. But often when you look at the word charismatic or charisma, you might have the understanding definition. So right now, I want you to type in the forum chat, what do you think is charisma? Type down in the forum and let me know your answers, and I'll share with you what exactly is the meaning of charisma. So give yourself a quick half a minute, type down what is charisma in your opinion, and experience. All right, great. Gary says that attractiveness or charm. What about the rest? As I heard about charisma from the media or from your own life, what exactly is charisma to you? Magnetic quality or personality, as shared by Sass. That's great. And you're right. In today's world, if you look at charisma, the X factor, the attractiveness, the charm. But do you know that charisma is not an English word? Do you know that charisma, the etymology of this word comes from ancient Greek philosophy? So for more than 4,000 years ago, when we look at Aristotle or the great Greek philosopher, it came out of the word charisma, and it's not exactly about attractiveness. What is the meaning of charisma? It means favor freely given or gift of grace. What does it mean? It means that it's something that's already in you, that's natural in you, that you can nurture and to grow it, meaning that you already have it, but sometimes we don't know about it and we can't grow it. So therefore, in today's session, what we're going to talk about will help you to ask more self-questions like, what exactly is my gift? What exactly is my charisma that I can start growing today and to excel in my workplace and family life? And the definition of charisma, based on dictionary.com, it also says that it's spiritual power or personal quality that gives you influence or authority over a large number of people. And I do want to admit to you quickly, now, all the time we go for webinars or seminars, there's many motivational speakers say, if you come for this session after 1 hour, you will be transformed. And can I just be honest with you? That is an absolute lie. Transformation is never quick. If you're given that shortcut, be careful because it probably is a scam. And in the same way, to grow our charisma, it's a long-term journey. It's not an outside-in, short-term, immediate positive changes. Rather, charisma is a journey. It's a journey of your inside-out, identity-based transformation that based on who you are and become who you are, what you're meant to be, in your career and in your destiny. That is long-term, that is resilient, that's sustainable. Even with COVID or other pandemic, you will not decrease your charisma, rather your charisma will grow in huge explosion. So that is the charisma we want to look at today for your transformation. And for the next 10 minutes, we have some fun. All right, we're going to do some myth busting activities. And let's go into the first one due to lack of time. So first myth, most of you might think that, wow, charisma. I do think that only the good-looking people can be charismatic. So here I do want to ask every one of you, please type in the forum, is it a yes or a no? Is it yes, only good-looking people can be charismatic, or no, not only good-looking people can be charismatic? Put in your answers right now because we want to learn from your opinions and to see what you guys think. Okay, while you're typing down, I just want to say good morning to Rizadi. Welcome to the webinar. Good to see you, mate. And Gary mentioned, no, good looks can be an advantage though. Okay, Mi Ling say no as well. It's not true. All right, anyone else? Do you think only good-looking people can be charismatic? No, I saw a show where the most irritating or irradiating person was a very small man and he was charismatic. So good answers, and let's take some time to explore this myth. Often we look at charisma, right? We equate charisma with beauty. And then we have to ask ourselves the question, what is the science of standards of measurement of beauty? You might have heard of this standard measurement that is called the golden ratio of beauty, that is observed not just in humans, but also in the nature and architecture. There's always a certain ratio. We use that number, the magical number, that brings off the recurrent beauty in all things in life. And what is the ratio? It is also called the Fibonacci number, the phi 1.618. That is a magical number, be it in plastic surgery or interior design. We always use that golden ratio of beauty as a gauge. So that is a standard measurement of beauty. And of course, we look at the beautiful people in today's world, like the celebrities, right? Like the wrestler turned Hollywood star, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., or the beautiful one and only Angelina Jolie and Emma Watson. And let's admit, like guys, they are really beautiful and handsome. They are really good-looking people. And they do exude kinds of charisma when they speak in public. However, now let's look at some not so good-looking people, shall we? First up, I'm not sure if you heard of this lady on the left of the screen. Her name is Lizzie Velasquez. If you type down her name in Google or in tedtalk.com, you'll have found her name or her Instagram that boasts 730,000 followers. If you look at her TED Talk, it has about 3 million viewers for her speech. And do you know why is she so influential? Simply because she took up the moniker that people has given her in cyberbullying. She is most well known as the world's ugliest woman. She did not falter or fail under that moniker. Rather, she used that as a strength to speak against cyberbullying and to inspire people. No matter how you look, you can be inspirational and you can be confident of who you are as a person. And that is Lizzie Velasquez, a huge influential speaker that I greatly admire. Next, in the middle, you might have heard of him. He did go to Philippines and Singapore as well, to speak. He was a Serbian Australian, speaker, televangelist who has spoken to at least 500 million people all over the world. That is Nick Vujicic. And a simple, interesting fact, Nick has a beautiful wife and happily married and have 4 kids, 2 sons and twin daughters. So imagine looking at him without arms and legs. Come on, he has 4 kids. You look at his Instagram, Google him, you'll find out his family photos and portrait. That is who he is, even though he doesn't have the muscles, but he has the confidence, the charisma. Finally, we look at Jack Ma, one of the richest Chinese billionaires in the world. Let's be honest, he's not that good looking, is he? He's not, all right, he's not. But he's very charismatic. He talks about his failures, how many times he's been rejected by KFCs and Harvard University. And from his stories, he inspired people because he accepts who he is as a person and doesn't care about becoming another person. So here are some examples for you. If you think that only good-looking people can be charismatic, here are the examples to bust a myth. Whenever we talk about self-confidence, we always think that it might be related to charisma. And here I do want to bring you to the attention question. Is self-confidence charisma, or is it different? But before we answer the question, we do need to understand what is the definition of self-confidence. So let's take 1 minute to look at it right now. So self-confidence is defined as describing 2 things, the attitudes and beliefs that people hold regarding to 3 aspects. Number 1, your identities. Number 2, your abilities. And finally, your strength. For people who are highly confident, they have that strong sense of attitude and belief for their identities, abilities, and strength, and they're able to achieve what they are set out to do. What does it mean? It means that the clearer you know about your identity, your who, and your reason, your why, the clearer you know about your who and your why, the better and stronger you're able to discover how to become confident as a person. And here I want to bring to your attention, all right, what you do does not always define who you are. Let me give an example. Right now, I might be conducting a webinar. Is it that I'm a teacher? Is it that I'm a coach? Yes. But say for you guys, if you're listening to this webinar, are you a student? Yes, you are. But even attending this webinar doesn't define your identity. Some of you are sales professionals, some of you are business owners, some of you are public speakers. So even you being here in this webinar does not define who you are. But the reverse is always true. Who you are always define what you do. All right, this slide is very important. So please take down the notes and take a screenshot, all right, save it in the gallery. Who you are always define what you do. Because I know my identity as a charisma coach, I would do all the webinars. I would do all the networking. I would do all the linking marketing, the email marketing, the campaigns, because I know, even though I don't like the admin, but because I'm a charisma coach, I'm an entrepreneur, it defines what I do to bring me to my identity as a coach. So same for you, everyone. You need to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Because when you know who you are, it will influence what you do in your daily life. And here's another slide I will take longer to explain. So take a screenshot, take a photo, write down. Because remember the first question, 5 minutes ago, I did ask, is self-confidence the same as charisma? And here is the answer to you guys. It's not. Okay, so imagine with me, charisma is a tree. When you grow the tree, when you nourish with the good fertilizer, water, when you take care of the tree will bear fruits. Will bear your durian, will bear your apples or mango, whatever you like. All right. When a tree is growing well, you will bear fruit. And what's the fruit of the charisma tree? The fruit is confidence. When you accept who you are as a person, when you accept your own gift, the unique gift that you have, when you grow your own identity, the confidence will be the fruit of your labor. So remember, charisma is not confidence. Charisma is a tree. Confidence is your fruit. Grow your charisma, your fruit will come naturally, effortlessly. Does it make sense? Okay, let's keep going. Good job, everyone. All right, about halfway through. So once again, all right, not only good-looking people are charismatic, even the not so good-looking can be charismatic too. So that's hope for me as well. So myth number one, okay, it's not true because charisma is a personal quality. And number two, anyone can discover and develop charisma. That includes you and me. And that is myth number one. Now, second myth is a bit complicated, so stay with me. Second myth states that charisma can be built quickly through conversational and public speaking skills. And I'll just give you the heads up. It can be true and can be false. But I'll take some time to look at both sides of the argument. So conversational public speaking skills do make you look impressive in front of people. Imagine you going for a date, you're meeting this girl for the first time, getting her for a nice dinner. The last thing you want to appear is stuttering, your hair unkept, messy and untidy. And let's admit, no matter how kind you are, the character you have, the first impression always counts. The first 5 seconds always count. So we need to work on our conversational and public speaking skills. We need to work our body language, how we appear, because first impression really makes a difference. But here's the thing I want to emphasize to all of you. Another important slide, take note. Being impressive doesn't mean you are charismatic. Okay? Being impressive is not equivalent to being charismatic. What do I mean? Because impressiveness is short-term, charisma is long-term. You might have met some of your friends, say in marriages, that they find it as a torture because the husband or wife initially turned out to be angels. Impressive, good-looking, eloquent, but when you get to know them, or you may have friends, right? Long-term friendship. The more you know about them, the more you find out that, oh, they are not who they say they are. They are different. I can't trust them. I don't know why. There's something weird about them. It's so different from the first time I met them. So even first time when you meet a person, it can be impressive, but doesn't mean that person has a charisma, has a character, has a self-acceptance, has a kindness that will serve others and not themselves. So being impressive, if you want to build trust with your clients, I would suggest don't just focus on impressiveness. Focus on your identity. Focus on your character. Focus on your values. Because once you get that clarity, people can trust you. And your clients will want to run to you and to learn more from you. Does it make sense so far? All right. And let's go to the other side of the argument. Okay. Conversational skills can build your charisma. It's true. It don't define who you are, but it gives you the weapons. It gives you the ability. So here I'm going to introduce to you this simple mindset that is called the Lego mindset. So imagine with me, you might have watched the Marvel movies like Avengers or Star Wars or Frozen, Disney movies. Some of your kids love building all these Lego theme parks, right? And it takes one step at a time to build that theme park, the hero that they want to build. And likewise, conversation and public speaking skills are like your Lego block. It helps you to build up your confidence, your fruit of the charisma. So all these things are still useful because let's be honest, if I can't speak well, if I can't present well, you will not listen to me, right? You will have left the group and go elsewhere. But because there's a certain amount of confidence I'm bringing to the table that I know I can add value to you, that's why you're still here in the webinar. In the same way, when you speak to your clients or your friends, strangers, the public speaking skills do help in build your confidence. And how do we continue to build that confidence? All right, we need not only the public speaking skills, we also need the mindsets, the growth mindset, the resilient mindset, the value-adding mindsets. All these mindsets will grow your charisma to serve others and not serve yourself. And also you need the personal leadership, you need the discipline, you need the consistency to serve others. And all this equate to charisma. But let's look at the flip side. If even you have conversational skills, but you lack the mindset, you're negative, you always self-sabotage, you think the worst of the situation, and you lack discipline, and let's be honest, you will lead on to no fruit. You'll lead on to a low self-confidence in you. All right, does it make sense? Feel free any point of time if you have opinions or thoughts, put in the chat group. I might not be able to answer now, but I want to go back to your question and thoughts at the end of the session. So feel free to type in what you feel or what you think. And in this meanwhile, I'd like to welcome the newcomers, Ahmed, Keith, and the rest. All right, welcome to the seminar. All right, and you have not missed out. There's a lot more to learn, to unpack. So stay tuned with me, get ready your notebooks, your iPad, your laptop, screenshot the stuff because you still have a lot to learn and a lot to gain. So final one, very quick because the answer is obvious. If you have listened to what I shared for the past 2 minutes, you will have learned that everyone can find charisma. You and I can find the personal quality, the personal confidence, and charisma cannot be copied. X factor is unique. You have it, I don't have what you have, that's fine. Because it's the same game, it's a fairness. You don't have what I have to, that's fine. That's what differentiates us to offer services and help to people that I might not be able to help, but you can do it for your clients. So you have the charisma, and you can discover the personal charisma through positive mindsets. And all this can be found in the Charisma Accelerator program, the 8 steps program, which I'll share a little bit more at the end of the seminar. All right, good job, everyone. Halfway through, give yourself a pat. All right, good job. So here, I'm going to go through possibly 4 instead of 7. 4 key confidence hacks that you can use it today, that you can use it right away after the seminar. All right. And why do we need to look at body language? So 11 years ago, I used to serve in the military prison, all right, in Singapore. Singaporeans have to serve in the army. So I used to serve in the military prison for 1 year, 10 months, or 1 year, a month. And what I learned back then is that it's not about what I speak to the prisoners that gain the respect. It's how I walk, how I look at them, how I approach them. In other words, my body language communicates how I feel towards them. And according to Dr. Albert Mehrabian's research, he says that effective human communication breaks down to 55% body language. You might be thinking, oh, Jeremiah, I heard about 67% or 80%. All right. The key thing is it's still the majority. Minimally 55% is from body language, the nonverbal, followed by your tone, the loudness, the pitch of your speech, and then the choice of your words spoken. All right, so that's where we want to focus what matters the most first, that you can hack into your confidence and apply it today. And without further ado, you might have heard about this phrase, fake it till you make it. And where have you heard it? Might be from this lady, Amy Cuddy, renowned Harvard social behaviorist scientist. She said in her TED Talk that has about 60 million, I believe right now it's 60 million, that your body language may shape who you are. And I do want to emphasize, body language is important. Why? Because it does not only affect how others see you, but it also affects how you see yourself. Example, when you adopt high power poses, the research shows that if you do that, the high power poses for 1 to 2 minutes, standing up straight, open arm strategy, that boosts your confidence. That boosts your chemical, in that confidence building. But the reverse is true as well. If you're always looking down, always close your arms, always slouch, that also results in low self-confidence. So this is one thing you can learn, all right? If you feel like, oh, I'm nervous right now, what should I do before the public speaking? Adopt high power poses, jump around, get your energy up, and then you get your confidence there as well. So remember, conversational and public speaking skills can build your charisma. So that's why we're looking at body language. But here's a big disclaimer and note-taking, time is now. You might be confused like, oh, Jeremiah, you said, wow, charisma is not confidence. And now you're talking about body language. So what is the relationship again? And here I do want to bring back the emphasis. Number one, confidence is not charisma, okay? But confidence is a fruit of charisma, of self-acceptance. Therefore, the use of high power poses don't define who you are. However, they have the ability to build your charisma. They don't define who you are, your identity, but they're still useful to build your charisma, to grow that self-confidence in you. All right, take a screenshot, save your gallery, take down the notes, 5 more seconds, and we'll go to the first body language hack. But before we go for the first body language hack, I want to credit this speaker, whom you might be able to find in YouTube, in Wired channel. He has tens of millions of views. 11 years ago, I came across his book, and it makes a big difference in my coaching journey. And this is Joe Navarro, 40 years of FBI interrogation. And this book is literally called What Every Body is Saying. Every single physical body is showing. And this 7 habits or 7 key hacks comes from this book. So do take note. First one, I'll go through with you. It's very simple. Shoulders, stand straight, don't slouch. The more you slouch, low power confidence. The more you stand straight, it boosts your confidence. So quick one, look at A and B. There'll be more advice. Of course, do not do C and D because it will bring down your confidence, not just to yourself, but also communicate to your audience as well. So that's number one. This is really simple. I'm not going to spend too much time. Number 2, here is the key thing I want to have fun with you guys. Smiling. Okay, we love to smile. Laughter is a cheap medicine of happiness, same as smile as well. So here I have a question to you guys. Do type in your forum. All right, do type in right now. I want to hear from you. Looking at these 4 pictures, what do you think is a common facial feature that defines their smiles as genuine? What is the part on their face that show you that it's a real smile and it's not a fake one? It's not a fake smile that we always try to put when we try to own our struggles, but you can see that, wow, they're really happy. Can you tell me on the forum, what do you think is a facial feature? Okay, great. The eyes, they are beautiful, right? Big eyes. charismatic, ooh, attractive, wow, magical, great. Anyone else? And a quick 10 seconds. What do you think is a common facial feature that defines the smiles as genuine? Okay. If you are alert, you might have caught the answer, the cat out of the bag just now, because I did show the answer quickly in 2 seconds. One of you said low eyebrow. Makes sense as well. It's not too high, it's not too weird, but it's low and confident. It's not frowning as well. But here, I want to share with you this feature, which is called the crow feet. Literally, it's the wrinkles around the eyes, not nearer to your nose, but on the outer of your eye area. It is argued that when a person shows the wrinkles, the crow feet, it communicates the genuineness, the attractiveness of the person. So, ladies and gentlemen, good news. You don't have to invest in Botox. Let it grow. Grow your wrinkles. You add on to your authenticity. When you meet your clients, smile. Grow your crow feet. And because research shows that it does communicate genuineness and not fake smile. We know sometimes, let's be honest, we know how to fake a smile, right? And the last thing we want to show to our client is this is a fake smile. We want to create that authentic communication trust with your clients. So this is one feature. Number two, about the smile. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, we will look at eye contact as well, because you did mention about eyes, and eyes often are the windows to your soul. When you look at a person's eye, you will feel like I can trust this person, or you have fallen in love with the person. So the eyes do communicate the indescribable, the soul and the spirit, the emotions as well. So here I want to ask you, which of these 4 pictures of eye contact display highest form of confidence? Because of time, I'm going to go through it quickly. Okay, of course, not B. Don't do that when you're talking to a client, unless you want to be cheeky, look elsewhere. Don't do that. And don't do D. All right, it's very weird where you're looking. Don't do that as well. But use A or C. Okay, I can tell you, when I look at the camera, is the lens, that's C. When I'm trying to look at above the camera, and that's A. So normally, when you're doing one-to-one, you can do C. When you're doing public speaking, you can do A. You can look above the head, because when you're speaking to hundreds of people in live audience, that's fine, because you can't give everyone the eye contact, right? So you can do that with A when you're speaking to 100+ of people in the live setting. But please do C, look into the person's eyes and give that respect when you're speaking to the person. But you might be saying, Jeremiah, oh my gosh, I'm so shy, I'm nervous. Every time I meet this person, I just can't speak anymore. How can I look into the eyes? I just feel anxious. So here's a quick tip for you if you're feeling this way. You don't have to look into the person's eyes, but you can look at the area between the eyebrow, which is called the glabella. You can try out with your family or your friends. Look at the glabella. It'll give you the illusion that, wow, as if you're looking into their eyes. But no, you're just looking at the area between the eyebrow. That will help you to curb your anxiety. If you feel nervous, you can't do that, don't have to look in their eyes. Just look at the glabella. Okay, quick 5 seconds, take down a note, because time is running out and I have so much thing to share with you. So focus on glabella if you want to maintain the eye contact. 4th one, hands. Hands, I'll spend about 3 minutes. This is really important. 3 questions are for this segment. Which of these 4 pictures display highest form of confidence? All right, is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Or is it D? I'll give you the quick one, okay? When you're not confident, A is the one, because it feels like you are holding on, you're praying, you're begging that, oh, I can't speak well, I'm feeling nervous. So when you're nervous, normally you do that to feel some security. Or B is exaggerated. You don't know what to do. But B and C are more confident. You might be thinking, wow, isn't B, okay, B is confident as well, but C is the highest form of confidence. I want to share with you this show that is called Shark Tank. Okay, Shark Tank is highly recommended. It's an entrepreneurial pitch program that showcase how business owners present their business ideas and get angel investors to jump onto the program and to invest in the business. A lot of time you see the way they portray confidence, they do this. Finger touching finger. It is a high power pose as well, even before you might be on stage or webinar like this. Just be prepared to do this and it will induce a high power of confidence. That is one. Now, sometimes you can do this. It's not say it's not confident, but it's less confident compared to C. So, but sometimes people can overdo. When you do this, obviously, you will become like nervous again. So quick confidence hack, do this with the fingers touching fingers. You will boost that high power confidence in you. So that's number one. All right, quick one. I have two more to go through with you. Number two is this. Okay, if you look at if sometimes you put your hands in the pocket, which is highly discouraged. If you are speaking on platforms, never put your hands in the pocket. But if you do, here is another thing to create confidence in the way you put your hands as well. And of course, these four pictures are different. And can tell you, A is the least confident, right? It's like casual, like a teenager walking around, don't know what to do. Okay, let me tell you the quick teaching about the symbolism of five fingers. Stay with me, this is important. Every finger communicates a different symbolism. For your pinky, it communicates convenience. Convenience. For this finger, it communicates commitment. That's where you wear the ring when you get married. Of course, for the middle finger, we know it's an international language of frustration and annoyance. Never show this to your client, never, okay? So we know of the middle finger. For this finger is instruction. When you give instruction to your kids, do this, do that, often this finger will come out in play. Finally, the thumb it communicates power, approval, authority. If you have listened clearly about the symbolism of the five fingers, then you'll be able to see in the four pictures which one should be the highest form of confidence. In the military, I learned that we never do this to our cadets. When we give instruction, we give this. We will say, all right, Cadet A, I need to tell the commander, do this and do that. It's a form of respect. Also, it's a form of authority and approval. We never do this. Instructions, we always show respect through power and approval to the cadet. In the same way, when you put your fingers in your pocket, always show your thumb. Never show other fingers. So the answer is D, because when you walk around, if your hands are in the pocket, show your thumb. Your thumbs communicate power, authority, and approval. All right, take it down. Thumb, show your thumb whenever your hands is in the pocket. Okay, time is running fast, so let's quickly. This one is quite clear. Open hands. Never close up, because when you're closing up, it communicates something that you're hiding, that insecurity, nervousness. But when you communicate open hands, it's showing that, hey guys, I have nothing to hide. This is what I have in my proposal, my coaching, my solutions. This is what I have here for you to learn. Open hands always communicate honesty. But closing hands, closing or hiding, it communicates I have something to hide. I'm insecure. I want to hide whatever there is and just for myself. So when you communicate, even in public or as a leader speaking to your subordinates, open hands strategy, open hands mindset, open hands body language. Great job, everyone. Around 15 more minutes ago, I want to applaud for you all the good attention. Shoulders, very simple, never slouch. All right, don't do A and B. It's so uptight. Nobody's do that. But do C. C is a good one. Just relax, but not too like slouching, but just have a relaxed shoulders posture. Not too uptight, not too lazy. Relax, enjoy it, have fun with your shoulders. Okay, arms. All right, it's same like the open hands, open arms strategy. So I'm not going through that much. It's pretty much the same principle. Okay, finally the legs. Okay, let me tell you something. You might have met someone in the train station or someone on the streets. A lot of times, how do we know that the person wants to talk to you? It's not looking at the eyes. is looking at the feet. If the feet is pointing to the exit or elsewhere, it means that the person is not interested in the conversation. Maybe it's time to let the person go because the person might be rushing for a meeting. But a lot of time they are shy to portray on their hands or the face or the eyes, but their legs tell everything. Okay, so how do you stand with great confidence? I'll say B is the answer. Don't stand too wide, don't stand too close, don't be a model when you're presenting, but be confident with an open, around 30 cm gap, V-shaped standing posture. And that's for the body language. But here's a key principle, every one of you listen up. How can we grow our charisma? This is very important, so take note. We cannot grow and manage what we are not aware of. Okay? We cannot grow what we are not aware of. We can't grow the strength if we are not aware of our strength. Same thing, we can't grow our weakness if it's a blind spot. So how do we grow our charisma? Self-awareness. Then you might be asking me, so Jeremiah, then how do you grow self-awareness? Feedback. Always ask for feedback from your family members, your close working members, your subordinates, your superior, because they get to see your blind spots, and that's where you can grow. With greater self-awareness, you can grow your charisma, your gift, and your confidence in engaging your clients. So self-aware is really key. You want to grow your charisma, grow your self-awareness, get more feedback from your clients or from whoever that you're close to. All right, sounds good? Okay, so here is, as I mentioned, of course, 1 hour. How can I give you that transformation? What I'm giving you is awareness. Simple as that. Knowledge that you can start trying out, get started. But in order to accelerate to 10x your sales growth, to 10x your public speaking, to 10x your high performance, it takes time, guys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen, it takes time. And that's where I've created this track-proven charisma accelerator program. There's 8 steps with 5 areas of transformation, 3 methodologies, and 1 purpose of charisma. So give me attention, 10 minutes. I'll tell you what exactly it looks like and what you can expect if you want to go with me in this journey of 10x your growth in charisma and your workplace performance as well. So what are the 8 steps? Let me help you. The 8 steps are represented by the word charisma, meaning step number 1 is C, 2 is H, A, R, I, S, M, A. That is 1 to 8, C to A of the word. And you will see that it's not a cycle, it's not a circle, it's like an infinity loop. Why? Because transformation is not shortcut. It doesn't just happen within 2 weeks. It's a lifelong journey. You have to keep on learning more by yourself, adapt to COVID-19, and to keep on be resilient, grow yourself and thrive. So it's a learning journey of yourself. So that's where you look at the left. Step 1 to 4 is ideas. 5 to 8 is actions. In short, charisma coaching cycle, it is a process of ideation, the clarity of ideas, and then can take effective actions. So step number 1 is clarity, clarity, and clarity. Without clarity, you can't go anywhere because you would just be running around like a headless chicken. That's what I don't want you to do. I want you to get a clarity of who you are, who you want to be. Because remember, when you know who you are, you always define what you do. It's much more effortless. You're not just running around. You get a clarity of what you want to do in your career and your dream as well, of who you are as a person, your calling, your destiny. So the first question to you, everyone, is when it comes to clarity, it's very simple and yet very complicated. Some people take 40 years to answer. Some people take few months. But the question is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? This answer will define the second question or second step, the what to do, the habits. And here we are not saying like big lofty habits, but we are talking about how small habits lead on to remarkable changes. How do we leverage on the momentum of small winnable steps to create the unstoppable momentum and exponential results in your career and your daily life? Thirdly, A, accountability. You might be thinking, oh, it must be reporting to your bosses or to your spouses. And let me assure you, it's not that kind of accountability. Accountability works well with growing your habits, when you grow your identity tribe, your inner circle. There's always a cliche that is true, which is you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. If you want to be an entrepreneur, don't hang out with 5 drug addicts. Why? Because the more you hang out with 5 drug addicts, what happens? You slowly have the drug addict mindset, and then the habits and the lifestyle. But if a drug addict wants to become an entrepreneur, join an identity tribe of entrepreneur, and slowly you'll see the changes in the drug addict growing up and 10x, 100x his life. So what I mean by accountability is find your 5 people in your tribe, the people who are already the identity that you want to be. So who do you want to have in your tribe? That is a very important question, because who you allow determine your destiny. So far, so clear? All right. So step 4, simple review. We always have to review our clarity, our habits, our accountability. Why? COVID-19 happened. I think it's a perfect example. We always have to adapt, not just a yearly plan. We have to always review our quarterly, even monthly. That's essential if we want to thrive in today's new world of unprecedented changes and uncertainties. Okay, 5th one, very quick. Implementation. Simply, you take action. Take action with your habits and see what happens, the wins and the failures. We learn from the failures and see how you can grow your superpowers. Everyone has different superpower. You have a superpower that I don't have, and likewise, vice versa. But we need to know what your superpower is so that we can make the best use of it and to grow your charisma. So in the 8 steps, we will help you discover your superpowers and grow your strength and to be unique and set the advantage over other competitors. Finally, mastery of charisma, 7 steps. Seconds are the 7th step. When you know your identity, your habits, you know your strength, when you're taking effective actions, and that you'll be a master of the charisma. And then A stands for affirmation. This affirmation is not just from your loved ones or families or colleagues. This affirmation is yourself. Because if you can't affirm yourself, people can't affirm you. If you don't like yourself, how can you expect people to like you? So self-affirmation is more important first before getting people to affirm you. And that's the 8 steps that we will be doing over the next 8 weeks. And I did mention, right, with these 8 steps, what are the life changes areas of transformation? Number 1, you will see 10x in your sales resilience. You'll see 10x in your leadership growth. You will see the same results in your emotional intelligence, high performance, and public speaking confidence. So the 8 steps, depending on what you choose, you'll be aligned to this area of transformation that you have chosen for yourself. Because each of you have different ideas of growth. You might want to grow public speaking, then we'll align the 8 steps to public speaking. If you want to grow your sales resilience, then we align the 8 steps to your sales resilience. And here is the 3 methodology. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, this is my superpower. What sets me apart from other coaches? Why should you engage me or learn from me? Why should you not find another high performance coach or leadership coach? What sets me different from others? It's the experience, the superpowers I give in deep listening. My superpower is deep listening. Coaching is not mentoring. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm here to facilitate your self-awareness and to grow what you already have and to grow who you are and meant to be. So that's my main role. My main role is a facilitator to make it easy for you to grow and become who you're meant to be. And that's for me to learn more about you first, and then I'll give you inputs, I'll give you strategies, I'll give you a teaching that will help you in living out your calling. That is deep listening, followed by eliciting the responses, eliciting what exactly that you're saying or showing to make sure that you are on the right track of your implementation. Finally, after knowing you better, after deep listening, after eliciting, then I'll go into strategizing for you. Right, that's the 3 methodologies of charisma coaching cycle. Last but not least, here's a final point I want to share with you is what is the purpose of charisma? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I so passionate about charisma? The next slides I want to share with you is my Christian faith. I do understand that most of you might not be Christian, and that's fine. But the next step, the purpose, the answer is a universal truth. Even though you're not a Christian, all right, that wisdom from the Bible is applicable. That sets us different from people like Hitler, from Donald Trump, and from other narcissistic, charismatic people. And that is from the book of Peter, 1 Peter 4:10 in the Bible. It says that each of you should use whatever gift, charisma, that you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. Charis. Charis is a root word of charisma in its various form. All right, this scripture is written in Greek. That's how we know about the Greek word of charisma. It means gift. It means a gift that you don't deserve, but it's in you. So what's the answer? The answer is this. Charisma is God's gift to you and within you to serve others. When you serve others, you're serving yourself as well. You want to help yourself? Help others first. At the same time, you will be helping yourself. And that's charisma coaching. Okay, the next steps for you, I want to share with you. If you're interested to find out, Jeremiah, I really want to know about Charisma Accelerator. What's a program to be like? What's a commitment? Here are two packages I want to share with you, the personal and the group coaching. All right, usually I offer to my clients personal coaching, group coaching. Accelerator is 8 sessions, 8 weeks program. Every session is 1 hour. It can be in person or via Zoom. And the original price is $500 SGD, Singapore dollars, okay, per week. And that is in total of $4,000 for 8 weeks. These are for people who just reach out to me on LinkedIn or elsewhere. But for you guys who have invested your time to attend webinar, I want to honor you with this special discount offer because you guys are a special bunch in my community here right now to get to know you guys as part of Charisma Fam community. And in that sense, if you have decided that, hey, Jeremiah, I want to sign up, I want to 10x my sales growth, I want 10x my public speaking, and I want 10x my high performance, here is a 60% discount for you. Instead of $500 per week, instead of $4,000 over 8 weeks, it's only going to be $200 per week and 1.6K over 8 weeks. And I do understand some of you might want to know me better. Instead of commitment for 8 sessions, you might just want to try 1 session and see how it goes. So that is an offer of just $250 per session for you to understand what exactly Charisma Accelerator is all about and to learn about the step number 1, clarity. And this offer only lasts for the next 24 hours. In the same way, group coaching is cheaper because we are getting more people to share the cost. So normally it's going to be same 8 hours, 1 hour session, 8 weeks, 400 per week, 3.2K over 8 weeks. But even better, that is much more, right? Discount for it, it will be 150 per week if you decide to sign up over the next 24 hours and 1.2K instead of 3.2K over the 8 weeks. Same thing. If you want to try out per session, you only be 200 Singapore dollars per session. And that will only last over the next 24 hours. And where I'll leave to Maryland to speak to you guys and to consolidate who are interested. And once we get the names, we'll group into relevant groups and to begin the journey of accelerating your charisma and 10x your career growth. And that is for today. Thank you very much for your time. And now I'll pass the time back to Marilyn.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. I mean, we only had 1 hour and we learned so much from you. And definitely, I'm sure the attendees will agree how, how can they easily make use of the tips and techniques that you have already shared with us, right? I mean, in just an hour. And how much more can they learn if they've actually attend or avail of the accelerator program, right? Wow. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. And so I just want to ask everyone this question of what is it worth for you if because of our program you get to improve your self-confidence? And what is it worth for you if through our full workshop you get to have more clarity and discover the best version of you? And what is it worth for you if you get to retain your high performing leaders in your organization to increase your sales as well? So again, we thank you for your amazing participation. Jeremiah have already brought you through the amazing discount. I was actually surprised. I only know about the group discount, and you've also extended a discount on a personal coaching. So thank you for that. And for this particular program or full program that Jeremiah is offering, he's giving us 50% to 60% discount on his usual offers or his usual rates. And again, this is learning is always a journey that you have to take. So you really have to invest in yourself if you wanted to get this. So again, we thank you for your amazing participation, and of course we will appreciate your feedback, so that we would know where to improve and how to improve and what other topics that you'd like us to bring to you. So I've put in the chat the link where you can share with us your evaluation, your feedback on Jeremiah's session. And we've also shared the link where you can actually find out more information about the coaching program that Jeremiah shared with you earlier. And after this session, we will also have like a mastermind. So you have like at least a week to practice on what you've learned from Jeremiah, and let's come together to share like how else you can make use of charisma in your current role or in your future plans as well, right? So the mastermind will be happening in a week time. You can register from the link that we've also shared here. And for more programs, we've also shared our calendar. But if you'd like to ask more questions with regards to how the charisma accelerator program goes on, please schedule a call with us or contact us so we can have that call together. So if there's any questions from anyone, feel free to let us know. We thank you again for for staying in for the last 1 hour, especially those who actually came in early, like Putri Mazura says, and Gary, who came in early today. Thank you so much for being on time. And yeah, do share with us if you have any questions while Jeremiah is still here. Feel free to put your questions on the chat, or schedule a call with us, or otherwise unmute yourself if you have any question for Jeremiah to clarify anything on what he shared today. When will the program begin?
Great. So the program will begin on next Saturday, which is the first Saturday of August. Timing will be confirmed because every different group has different timing. So unless it's personal, it's easier. We'll just fix it together, through Maryland, and what's the best timing for you. But for group coaching wise, honestly, because we have more people, it's a bit hard to set the timing. So it might take a bit more time.